Don't worry about the language. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of Musli Buzz. I'm glad you guys are all here. I know I have put out a different video before, which I will link at the end of the video, and it actually blew up. Alhamdulillah. I mean, a few brothers retweeted me and added me to a tweet, and I got an explosive number of subscribers, and I am grateful that you guys were able to do that, and I am deeply humbled. So thank you for subscribing, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you guys even more and more success than you guys have given me. So I appreciate that. But getting right into this video. So I came across this video by an individual by the name of Abdullah Sameer. And I made a video about him, or I guess to him, and another guy, his friend Abdullah Gondol. I made a video to them about the allegations about the Quran, and that will be down in the playlist as well. But he made another video addressing a guy named Introverted Smiles, who I guess is another atheist or ex-Muslim. And so I wanted to do a review of that video. So I'm going to go ahead and go over and switch the screen so we can see this video here. So this is the video. I'm going to go ahead and just get started with the video, and let's have a listen to what he has to say.
My fellow ex-Muslim YouTuber, Introverted Smiles, recently uploaded a video, Ali Dawa and Adam Saleh offering me clout, my response. And I wanted to reply to some of the things he said. Intro is a good guy. I think he's coming from a good place. He's the type of person who cares about doing the right thing, and so he makes self-critical videos from time to time. As a movement, or as a community of ex-Muslims, we do need to listen to stuff like this. This is your friendly neighborhood ex-Muslim, Abdullah Sameer, and here's my response.
Okay, so here's his cheesy opening. Let's just go back in here. Alright. Reason over revelation.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a long time since I made a face-to-face video, and there's a reason for that. Just recently, Ali Dawa and Adam Saleh kind of tweeted out a video with me in the thumbnail, and Ali Dawa just now tweeted, "Oh, what a loser, Introverted Smiles, haha. Adam Saleh got closer to Islam because of you." And I didn't watch the video. I don't really care to. But if Adam Saleh got closer to Islam because of me, then I'm happy for him, because I really don't care about that stuff. I'm like way above that, and that's the point of making this video, sort of like a little update video. I've been trying to distance myself from the ex-Muslim label, but at the same time, I'm kind of not. I'm kind of active on Twitter and stuff.
Not sure why this is the case. My guess is that some Muslims made you feel dirty about the activism you're doing. You don't need to feel this way. I did this once, i.e. dropped the ex-Muslim label, but I feel like it's playing right into the hands of the apologists. They don't want to normalize dissent. We need to do this. We need to be proud and say, I'm not Muslim, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And the reason...
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a moment. First of all, it's kind of funny that he's like, oh, I really don't care about that, and I'm glad he became a Muslim, or even a better Muslim. Well, if you really don't care about Islam, why are you spending all your time making these videos and then inviting other ex-Muslims and then trying to critique Islam and so forth and so on? I mean, I feel like that is a bit disingenuous. I mean, if you truly didn't care about what Ali Dawa or Adam were saying about you, then why would you even take the time to make the video? Apparently, you're doing this because it is something that affects you. It is something that you keep up with. Saying that you really don't care means it's exactly what that means. It means you don't care. You're not going to go out of your way to see what somebody else is tweeting about you. Obviously, you would know that people are going to respond to you because you've put out material. It's not like you were minding your own business and then somehow someone just came out of left field and then tweeted at you or made a video about you, and then that's why you're checking it out. No, you are accustomed to this. Right? You wanted to make videos and you were doing it for the intention of getting views and likes, or perhaps reaching out or sharing your point of view, which is totally fine. But don't try to make it sound like you don't care, because obviously you do. That's the whole reason why you're even making this video. So with that being discussed, now we're talking about an interesting thing. He's basically saying that I am trying to distance myself from the atheist or ex-Muslim identity and that whole movement. And that kind of leads me to the title of this video. Is this what we call an atheist burnout or an ex-Muslim burnout? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they've invested so much time into hating Muslims and trying to justify why they are ex-Muslims and seeking that approval, that they've almost have been consumed by this hatred for Muslims. And now they're feeling like, oh, I'm being hated. They're victimizing themselves when in fact they're the ones that began this rabid attack on Muslims. They created coalitions, they created videos and all sorts of things. And now it's like, oh, well, this is too much. And I don't mind that. I mean, I can understand negativity is too much, but let's remember where this negativity started, right? It came when you were taunting people, tweeting at people, making memes, all that kind of stuff. It started with you. If you were minding your own business and, doing whatever it is that you do, the chances of you having to deal with all of what you're dealing in terms of negativity probably wouldn't have been there. I mean, you probably wouldn't have had to deal with any of that. But this was almost self-inflicted. And then it's funny because then you see Abdullah Sameer comment and say, well, you know what? You shouldn't have to do that. Don't feel bad that the Muslims are making you feel bad about something. How do you know why he's doing that? It's interesting that Abdullah is defaulting to the position that it is Muslims that caused this pain and suffering on him. And this is the problem with their mentality. Everything bad that happens around them, the default is to blame Islam. It's like the boogeyman. Oh, before I go to bed, let me check under my bed for the boogeyman. Oh my God, my stomach hurts today. It must have been that halal food that I ate 10 years ago. Oh my God, the tornado's coming. It must have been a Muslim that made dua to Allah to destroy me. I mean, something like this. It's like this boogeyman syndrome. Abdullah, you have no idea why he wants to distance himself. Maybe it could be because of cheesy people like you. Maybe it could be because of people like you who just, make nonsense videos and, try to present themselves as some kind of savior for people who want to leave Islam. Maybe he's tired of being associated with someone like you. I mean, it could be any kind of reason or any sort of reasons, but you are simply defaulting to the problem that you have with Islam and trying to put it onto him, trying to shape the way he thinks, and now you're beginning to speak for him when you don't even know what he's thinking, which I find to be very disingenuous. I don't know why you would do that, but it is what it is. But let's continue on to the rest of the video.
The reason for that is because there's a part of me that wants to be there for people that want to leave Islam and not feel isolated and have low self-esteem and feel like they can't, get anything done in life. I want to give them that confidence to say, hey, I'm here,
Great. Keep it up. I think you're doing fantastic.
But at the same time, as far as...
So let's comment on that for a moment. He gets all happy. Great, keep it up. Whatever. Okay. Look, me personally, I don't have a problem. If there are people who are ex-Muslims and you want to be their community for them and you feel like that, that you want to be around people that are similar to you, hey, you can do what you want. You live in a free world. You can do what you want to do. You can go out and mingle and whatever with anybody you want to. None of my business. I mean, I genuinely think you probably mean that. But, at the end of the day, I don't think any Muslim on Twitter or YouTube or even in real life would have a problem with you saying, hey, look, I just want to reach out and help people who have left Islam because I feel like I understand their struggle. Fine. That's between you and your creator. The problem is when you start mixing that with attacking Islam and then claiming, oh my God, it's too much negativity. There's too much going on, right? You can't, have your cake and then eat it, right? It doesn't work that way. If you just want to be a genuine good guy and help people that are struggling in your mind, you believe they're struggling with something and maybe a lack of community or whatever it may be, do that, be that person. But then you can't, claim you're that person and then go and attack Islam and then feel guilty that Muslims are attacking you. It wouldn't have happened if you did not do that. But let's continue on here to the rest of the video.
Being part of that group, I don't really want to because I don't feel the group is intellectually stimulating for me. And that's just the honest truth. It comes full circle, like being in Islam. And we could blame the Salafi version of Islam for that. I didn't find it intellectually stimulating, like Yasser Qadhi.
Depends on how you approach it. Ex-Muslims are as diverse as Muslims are. Are you battling it out on Twitter? Are you discussing in a closed group of ex-Muslims? Are you on the ex-Muslim Reddit, on a private Discord server, in an intellectual specialized Islamic discussion group? There are all sorts of people and forums you could talk to. The Reddit wouldn't be likely a stimulating place. You probably have a lot of memes and stuff. But there was like a 10 or something page response to my Dhul Qarnayn video posted on there by a Muslim. So I responded to it in like. Definitely intellectual stimulation there. Majority of non-Muslims, Christian apologists, and ex-Muslims would probably be talking about things like Muhammad's a pedophile. The historians and scholars on Twitter, though, like Sean Anthony and Margin Van Putten, you can follow and discuss with for more academic, enlightening conversations. You can dig deep into the real issues. Don't let the actions and conversations of a few or of a many dissuade you from diving into intellectual arguments.
I'm at a point right now where it's like...
Okay, so let's talk about that for a moment. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Is this the ex-Muslim burnout? What's happening is, Abdullah, you're not understanding. You're trying to provoke him and trying to encourage him to keep hating Islam or to keep talking about Islam. Let me make one thing very clear to you. If you don't want to be part of something, if you have no interest in believing in a God or being part of a religion or whatever it may be, right? Why would you spend all your time talking about it? It gets boring. It gets, it's time consuming. It's negative. This guy clearly seems like somebody who wants to probably just move on. He is probably looking for something else in his life, and yet you're dragging him back. It's like you're trying to hold him down and say, no, you have to be negative and keep attacking. But hey, you know what? You can attack in an intellectual way, but keep on attacking. It's like the guy that's been boxing for like 10 years and he's tired. He's done. He doesn't want to box anymore, right? But you're saying, no, box, keep boxing. You can do it. Just box the lesser people or box the people in your caliber and you'll be fine because, that's what you should do. No, dude, the guy, he doesn't want to do it. Why are you forcing your idea of what he should be doing? Why are you trying to encourage somebody to leave what they're feeling and try to encourage them to do what you want to do? If you have this obsession with Islam and want to make videos upon videos upon videos and get on tweets and Reddit and Discord and whatever else you go on, if you want to do that time and time, day in and day out, that's up to you. But some people have lives. Some people are doing other things. Some people just they said, you know what? Islam is not for me. I don't really care what Muslims do. I just want to do what I wanted to do. But yet it seems like you're holding him back. It may be you as the individual and people like you that hold people back, right? Instead of leaving something and then being done with it, you're pulling him back down into a lifestyle or into a lifestyle that is consumed by your past life. And it just seems counterproductive to me. I don't know why you would want to do that. I mean, it seems like you're giving this advice in order to suit your agenda, in order to further the causes of the groups that you belong to, because you seem to want more ex-Muslim voices to keep talking about Islam because that's what keeps you entertained. That's what your intention is. That is what you're indoctrinating people with, right? But some people just don't want to do that. They just want to leave any religion and carry on with their normal life. And you seem to have a problem and you seem to be annoyed with that. But let's continue with the rest of the video.
I don't know. I just see the certain figureheads of ex-Muslims, and it's like the same thing as the Muslims.
I'm not sure what you mean by this. What are these figureheads of ex-Muslims or Muslims doing that's so bad? Is it just being public and loud about issues that they care about? If so, this is a good thing, whether you're Muslim or not. We need to keep it up. Talk about things that matter to us.
So I'm kind of distancing.
So let's talk about that again. Oh, keep it up. Why are they just, again, he's trying to play the victim. Oh, they're just voicing their opinion. No, it's not that. See, the problem is that Abdullah doesn't want to admit that some of the largest voices who are anti-Islam right now, be it them ex-Muslims, Christians, whatever they may be, they are not intellectually stimulating. Majority of people attacking Islam are very simple-minded individuals. They're simply there to either do two things: just to insult and do things for shock value, or number two, they're trying to call you to Christianity. And as a matter of fact, they don't even want to call you to Christianity. As a matter of fact, they just want you to leave Islam. So because, as a Christian, they think Islam is evil, but they know they can't convince you to be a Christian. So the next best option is just leave Islam. And this is the kind of attitude that is dominating the field right now. It is mainly the Muslims that go out and make intellectual arguments, critiquing different theologies or even philosophies. It's the Muslims that go out. Muslims are forbidden from making fun of religious figures. So more than likely, you're not going to find a Muslim being that offensive, right? And even when one does do that, for example, what's going on between the apostate prophet and Muhammad Hijab, right? Muhammad Hijab is challenging the apostate prophet on the rights of free speech. The apostate prophet wants to criticize Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Muhammad Hijab says in turn, well, then let me insult your family. And this is the kind of debate that's coming out because this is the large body of ex-Muslim or atheist or Christians who are anti-Islamic. The discussions are just not there. And this guy is exposing that. He's saying, look, most of you people are stupid. You're moronic. You have nothing to contribute. And that's the reality. Although he may compare that to Islam, in his version, he believes that, quote, Salafis were not intellectually stimulating, and they were just, kind of, and maybe I can resonate with that. Maybe there were people that he was speaking to that were always about debating and arguing with the different sects in Islam, and that could be a turnoff for somebody as well. Likewise, majority of what's happening within the anti-Muslim community and ex-Muslim community is all about offending the Muslims and seeing who can be more offensive. And that can be equally draining and negative. And I see where he is coming from. So let's just go ahead to the rest of the video now.
Myself from the ex-Muslim label, but at the same time, I want to be there for the people that feel depressed and sad and everything.
And I think you're doing a good job with your channel overall. Keep it up. The more ex-Muslims we have talking about things that matter, the better.
I also don't want to be associated with like emotional ex-Muslims.
I don't know what you mean by this. Emotions are a healthy part of all of us. If by emotional you mean vulgar, rude, bitchy, or having nasty behavior, then yes, me neither. I don't want anything to do with that either. But emotionally compelling can be a good thing, speaking from the heart. Not a bad thing like some people try to paint. I recommend the book Everything is Fucked by Mark Manson. He gives this beautiful analogy of a car with two drivers. The two drivers are your thinking brain and your feeling brain. We normally think the thinking brain is in charge, but that's not the case. Here's a quote. Here's
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about this for a moment. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to be associated with the emotional ex-Muslims, the ones who are, vulgar and weird and whatever." But let me just remind you that this individual recently, a while ago, on my Twitter, the first time I ever tweeted at this guy, he ended up talking about my penis. I mean, kept talking about my penis and the size of my testicles to the point where I even just had to ignore the guy and block the guy. And then he ends up, wanting to apologize to me. But yet now he wants to play the good guy. Oh, I really want intellectual stimulation. And I want to be, the guy that is having a positive environment. I don't buy it. And I think, Introverted Smiles is also seeing that there's a lot of a hypocrisy among this community. And it's just the way that it is. I mean, you can't deny that. And I think that's part of the problem, right? A lot of, I guess any human being, if you're always around negativity, it's not going to end up well for you, right? Whether you be a Muslim, whether you be a Christian, or you be a Jew, anybody, right? It doesn't matter who you are, right? If you are anyone that's around negativity all the time, it's going to ultimately have an impact on your psyche, right? You're going to feel that this is just too draining. And I think this is what he is experiencing now. So let's see what else he has to say.
ever. We are by our very nature emotional beings, and we need to.
At the same time, I get under the skin of certain people, and I get that certain attention because I have knowledge. I'm way smarter than these guys, these Dawa boys, these Muhammad hijabs, and
I don't ever claim to be smarter than anyone else, but I am grateful that I was able to see my way through Islam. It takes courage to be able to face the contradictions and holes and not ignore the problems, because everything around you is connected to Islam.
all that. I've been a practicing Muslim for many.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So he thinks, he goes on. So actually, this is the part where I actually agree with Sameer on Abdullah Sameer, that he's actually shouldn't claim to be the smartest, because you're not. Time and time again, Muslims, average lay Muslims, have exposed you in videos, right? The stupid videos that you've made, Abdullah and you, both of you people, right? There's been hundreds of videos that have exposed the holes in your argument and the ignorance that you have displayed about Islam. So yeah, I would slow down a little bit. This is the kind of rhetoric I'm talking about. He claims, I really don't want to get into that. I don't want to really talk about this stuff. But then he makes those allegations and he makes those attacks. And then it's kind of like passive aggressive, right? But people who are familiar with you and what you're doing, they're going to respond to that. And Abdullah Sameer does the same thing. The problem is he's saying, I'm courageous because I was able to leave Islam because I acknowledged the flaws while everybody else is not doing that. Well, the problem is that time and time again, Abdullah Sameer has been exposed as not knowing basics of Islam. And he can bring people like Abdullah Gondal, he can bring, many other people on the program or whatever show he does, but you're going to find that he usually ends up exposing himself for being ignorant. I mean, in the video that I did about the Quran challenge they did, it was very clear the man couldn't even recite a verse of the Quran properly. And, I'm not saying that you have to be some kind of Arabic scholar to be a Muslim. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that if you're going to claim that, I studied Islam, I know Islam very well, I'm qualified to come to the conclusion that this is this is what Islam says, and I found the truth, and now I get to leave it and critique it because I found the truth. If you're going to make that claim, then you certainly should know how to read Arabic, especially when you're quoting a hadith and you're quoting verses and you're getting involved in the in debates and rhetoric. You need to be able to do that, and none of these guys have that ability. That's just the bottom line. But let's go ahead and continue and see what else he has to say.
Years. Like, I'm awake for Fajr, and I'm an ex-Muslim after 7 years. That's how bad it is for me. I feel empty not praying Fajr Salat. That's how it's affected me personally in my life.
I'm not sure why this is the case. Is it because you grew attached to the routine? Is it because you felt good waking up early in the morning? I personally don't miss it a single bit. I enjoy getting enough rest and not disturbing my REM sleep. I do miss the community aspect of Islam a bit, but you can find that in other places. For the Fajr thing, if you like waking up early, try meditating from dawn to sunset or going for a jog. These would give you the same good feelings that Fajr did.
So let's talk about that. So first of all, let me just talk about what Abdullah Sameer said. He's like, oh, well, I don't want to ruin my REM sleep and, I personally don't miss it. Well, we know that you were very unhappy being a Muslim. I mean, you couldn't even deal with the fact that you had divorced your wife and were not happy with the rules of Islam. And you always had problems with Islam because you never, in my mind, I don't think you fully really understood Islam or your relationship between a creator and the creation. And so that's going to naturally it's going to filter down into your day-to-day actions, including waking up for Fajr and praying to your Lord. Naturally, you're not going to like it. Of course you wouldn't like that. You're going to see it as a burden. You probably thought that you were doing Allah a favor by getting up in the morning and praying, and you probably thought, well, good, now that I prayed, I can ask, Allah has to grant me something now. I mean, I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I'm assuming you probably thought that anyways. But again, I think on the flip side, what Introverted Smiles is saying is interesting. He's feeling a void, not praying Fajr, and who knows, that could be a good indication. I don't know if you're listening, Introverted Smiles. This could be your fitra calling out to you, your fitra inside of you, saying, "Hey, look, I should be doing something right now." Right? I knew I felt better when I was praying Fajr in the morning. I knew that. I don't know what's going on in your life, or what happened in your life, or I don't really care. I mean, that's your business. I don't know how you became an ex-Muslim, but I'm sure there are events that led up to that. But whatever it may be, there is an answer within Islam for that, and I think you in your heart know that, and that's why you feel that void when you are waking up this time and making a video and thinking about, oh my God, I just, I get up every day and I struggle with that. Struggle with the lack of spirituality, because obviously, you've mentioned you're on a spiritual journey. You could have found many other things to do during that time, like Abdullah Sameer mentioned, meditate, work out, self-help, or whatever it may be. But instead, you pointed out the fact that you actually, struggle with the fact that you feel like there's something missing at that time. At least that is the impression that I got from your statement. But let's go ahead and continue.
And I'm not interested in having some kind of discussion and being an ex-Muslim superstar versus the Dawa boy superstar. I'm not into that stuff because I'm into my own spiritual journey. I'm only on social media for people, to help people. I'm not there to get the fame and the recognition and all that. It's a disease, and Ali Dawah knows this. Ali Dawah, Adam Saleh, they both know this. And if you're watching this, guys, you guys know it's hard to keep up with. It sucks. People are labeling you this and that. It gets under your skin. It's toxic. You're surrounded by bots, and then you gotta fulfill these bots. You gotta make these bots happy. It's a never-ending circle. I know how that feels. It sucks. And you want to do your own thing in life. So
I agree that talking to these guys can be incredibly toxic. They willingly throw and hurl personal attacks and abuses at us. They make memes of us. They use vulgar and crude questions in order to offend and abuse. And we don't respond in kind.
The funny thing is, I find this to be funny because look at this. He's talking about vulgar and toxic memes. These are memes that are directed towards Muslim apologetics. And these are, you can go through, and these are things that Abdullah Sameer and people like this will like. He's trying to make it sound like it's only the Muslims that are making vulgar memes and they're the ones that are attacking and blah, 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 and all this stuff, right? That's not the case, right? Again, he's trying to play victimhood. and say, oh, we are on this noble quest, and it's, oh, we have to endure this, and the Muslims are always the guilty ones who are doing this stuff. The Muslims are the ones who almost like he's implying that it's Muslims are the only ones, spewing evil and being childish, and the only ones making memes, and the only ones hurling insults. Well, yet every day on Twitter from an ex-Muslim, you can find some insult to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some insult to the Muslims, some insult to a muhajjaba, a munaqqaba. I mean, anything to halal food, you mention it. Whatever it is, you can look at every day on Twitter, and yet he wants to claim victimhood. And this is what I'm saying when I say Abdullah Sameer is disingenuous. He doesn't actually, essentially take into consideration what his own side is doing. He may not be directly doing that, but he certainly is friends with people who do that. He doesn't call them out. He actually retweets some of them. Right? He actually, as a matter of fact, has used vulgar language with me when trying to talk about my genitals for some reason. I don't know why. But anywho, let's see the rest of the video.
You don't want to go to the level. The heat sometimes is too much, which is why a certain prominent ex-Muslim I know doesn't go on Twitter. It's just not worth the emotional drain and drama for him.
As an ex-Muslim, agnostic, people are wondering, I don't really go with the atheist label for the same reason. Because the people associated with the atheists just too emotional, too liberal for me. I just kind of want to be at a certain corner of the earth and just do my own thing and not be associated with people. And
I don't agree with this. The atheist label is not emotional or liberal. There are liberal and conservative atheists. It's a spectrum. In fact, I recently interviewed an ex-Muslim atheist who's right-leaning on my channel. You'll probably find more variety among atheists than believers because we aren't united by a common belief. We just don't believe in any religion. The label is just there to describe a lack of belief. That's all.
I'm trying to go through healing on my own, and growing. There's a lot going on in the world today that people are just not paying attention to, and they just want to focus on Islam or being ex-Muslim. There's so many more problems in the world today. And then we have people that don't want to really think about the crisis in Lebanon right now. They want to, just continue to bash and bash. They want to continue to bash and bash Muslims. But there are Muslims out there that need our help and donation. And I say to myself, as an ex-Muslim, what's wrong with donating to a Muslim cause or helping Muslims? And some ex-Muslims have a problem with that.
I've never heard an atheist or ex-Muslim say we shouldn't help Muslims. We definitely can and should. It's good to help others, regardless of their religion.
Okay, so first of all, I think what the guy said is genuinely good, right? Hey, you know what? There's bigger problems in the world. It seems like Abdullah can't deal with the fact that this individual does not want to continually bash Islam. He gave a reason. He said, listen, there are bigger things in the world to me than bashing Islam and talking about Islam all the time. I mean, your job, your revenue, the way you beg for money, Abdullah, is to talk about Islam. That's your profession. That's what you do, right? I mean, maybe it's not your official profession, but that's how another income stream for you, Abdullah, right? This man is not trying to come on cam and beg for money. I'm not, propping him up saying he's some kind of great human being, but I feel like the guy is genuinely saying, listen, I don't really care as much about Islam as you do, Abdullah, and people like you. You want me to be as ferocious against Islam as you are, but in reality, I don't have that same hatred that you do. But yet you're encouraging him. You are objecting this because you are trying to make him share the same passion and zeal to hate Islam and to critique Islam, which I find to be absolutely, hypocritical. Let people be people. Everybody is not the same. I mean, like you just said earlier, atheists are not homogenous. There's a wide spectrum. And he's on the spectrum that doesn't want to keep attacking Muslims. But it seems like your side or your position doesn't want to allow him to do that for some reason. I mean, not physically or forcing him, but you're trying to convince him. You won't just let the guy be. Very strange. I mean, I don't know why. And if you really were a friend of his, why didn't you reach out to him privately? Why are you trying to make a video about this in order to, essentially call him out on it and trying to gain it for, to again, gain a revenue stream by talking about Islam again. Right? This is the, I mean, it's anyone who is on the outside can take a step back and look at this and say, yeah, of course you're talking about Islam because you're looking for more money. You're looking for more subscribers. You're looking for more Patreon donations, right? This is kind of what the pattern is here. So moving on.
Religion or other identity markers. I would donate to earthquake funds in Muslim countries or any other country.
Oh, no, we got to help some atheist that's having trouble with his legal fees and this and that. I have different priorities, the way I look at things. I just find that I'm a different person right now. So that's it, guys. Take care. Hope everybody's well. I know I'll lose followers and viewers and unsubscribe and blah, blah, blah. All that jazz. I don't really care, bro. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
The atheist who needs help in the Muslim country is often a minority in grave danger. I spoke to a Somali ex-Muslim man in Kenya who goes by the name Hassan, who was physically attacked and almost killed after his cousin exposed him as an atheist. He tried lying, he tried pretending, he tried saying that he was a Muslim, but they didn't believe him no matter what they did, and they almost killed him with a big rock hitting on his head. He needs our help, and so I helped him. It shouldn't be a problem to help atheists. It doesn't matter if the atheist is Muslim. Just like it shouldn't be a problem to help anybody, no matter what their religious belief are. Surely every person's life is valuable. The atheist or Christian life is just as valuable, and if they are in trouble, we should help them. We live in a world where there are too many causes that need us. Environmental, political, religious, animal rights. We need to pick and choose, and as long as everybody picks something in the world to improve, we will be better off. Those of us who choose to help.
Okay, so he's basically, again, the man, all he's saying is, look, man, there are people that need help in the world, and I don't feel like I have to exclusively donate to atheist people. And Abdullah comes back and goes, oh, I know this Somali guy who was all the way over there and you got a rock put on his head. I'm going to call BS on the story. Again, anecdotal. What we're seeing now is that he's talking about one person. And you notice how Introverted Smile brings up Lebanon, where there's hundreds of people, thousands of people that are suffering right now. And Abdullah brings up one supposedly an ex-Muslim in Somalia or whatever he said, somewhere in Africa. Right? Do you see what's happening here? You are trying to force your thinking on this guy, trying to influence him to think, and you're being passive aggressive, right? If you believe all human life is valuable and you believe that that as long as somebody's doing something, well, why are you trying to now, comment on this and change your opinion? He's basically doing what he feels is important for people he believes are suffering. So, or at least wants to. So, but you seem to be disgruntled by this. And again, this is that deep-seated hatred that you have for Islam and Muslims. As passive as, as you may want to appear to be, we can all see the aggression that's there. And you didn't even spare a fellow atheist. And I think that is what is contributing to the ex-Muslim burnout. They're getting tired of people like you and communities like you whose entire purpose and only objective is to demonize and to hate and to bring negativity to the Muslims, and it gets tiring. Just like there are some Muslims who will always blame the Jews for everything, or there are some Christians that will always blame the Muslims for everything, or the Jews, or whatever it may be, right? It gets tiring. People move away from those people. So again, I think this is what's happening. And it's funny how atheism, or through the lens of an ex-Muslim, is going through the same challenges that religion goes through. It's a very interesting parallel. People who get overzealous in religion end up burning out. And likewise, this is happening within the ex-Muslim community. So that is all that I have to say about this matter. I thank you for joining in. And don't forget, on Sundays, I have a live stream at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern time, where we go live and I interact with the guests that are present with us. So make sure you join in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell so that way you get notified every time I create new content. And hopefully we will catch you on the next episode. I believe we'll be doing one on the Mad Mamluks channel very soon. And inshallah, I'll catch you guys on that one. So it's been a pleasure. Inshallah, we'll catch you next time. Let's talk about it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Great. Keep it up. I think you're doing fantastic.
Muzzy buzz, muzzy buzz, muzzy buzz, muzzy buzz, muzzy buzz,